This episode of Art Social Club documentary is brought to you by King Fyz, approved and certified. Sponsored by King Fyz Perspective. Perspective is everything. Google King Fyz Perspective, book, ebook, and audiobook. Back to the program.
Now this is, I told you I did the research on our social club. You know, I graduated from College State, so I decided I would do the history on them. So this is our museum. This is the museum. A lot of vets. This is me up here. That's the president of the club right here. These are some of the vets in the club. And the paper I gave you, when you read it, you'll read about the Civil War because Juneteenth, the thing about Juneteenth, what I like about Juneteenth, because basically we was asking them to make a national holiday so everybody could vote. They gave it Juneteenth, and that was a blessing because now we had an opportunity to teach our people about who won the Civil War.
Exactly.
You know, because our people don't know who won the Civil War. You know, but we shut it down. We brought the Civil War to an end. That's what black soldiers did. 40,000 some Africans died during the Civil War. 220,000 joined the Union Army. Now, some of the history, there's more history in the book than here, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of history right here. We were founded in 1905. We founded by the first generation of men coming out of slavery. They were Men's Art Social Club, the founders. First generation coming out of slavery. Raymond Coates, he was the first president, born in 1873. He's one of the charter men that signed the charter. See his name up here? Raymond Coates. Jeremiah Hill and Sam Barney. That's Sam Barney right here. Sam Barney, he was born in 1863. He was born January the 10th, 1863. I was doing slavery. Because Abraham Lincoln Proclamation was January the 1st, 1863. So he was born in slavery. You know, like I said, they the first born generation come out of slavery, born free men. You know, and Richard Morley, you know, he was one of the founding members of our social club also. He's a founding member of our social club. I put this up here because I wanted people to know the year 1912. The year 1912 we were chartered. It's our charter in 1912. This the year, everything that was going on during 1912 relating to black people and relating to us, I got in here the history. We had a lot of activists during the early 1900s. Most of the activists was the church members because the church was the foundation of the black community. You know, I mean, the preacher lived in the community. You know, they were like, you tell me step, the preacher would come talk to you, the foundation. So the church members were early activists in the community. Then we had the other activists were, you heard of A. Philip Randolph? Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. Okay, they were the first black union. This is A. Philip Randolph. Malcolm X was one of them. If you look at Malcolm X's movie, you'll see he was one of those. They were early activists. They predate Martin Luther King movement. They were larger movement, predate Martin Luther King movement. A. Philip Randolph, black men. Coming out of slavery, black people had to work for tips. So they worked on the train for tips. They were trying to fight to get a minimum wage. And they found a guy they were called communists, radicals, all kind of bad names. But the only thing they wanted was hourly wage, you know? And eventually you'll learn more about them if you know, more about them if you get into history, as you progress. But anyway, just walk the backs. And walk the backs and brought a lot of these guys into it. They were activists in our community. So we had the church guys who were activists, then we had the union guys who were activists. The other activists were the soldiers, military. They come back, every time they come back, they always get involved and get engaged and be a service to the community. That's what the military men have always did. This here is Tom Smith. You ever heard of Willie Adams?
Yes.
Okay, Willie Adams, number runner. Willie Adams learned from this guy here. This is Tom Smith here. He was the richest African-American man in Baltimore City. Pennies, nickels, you know, it was all connected to, and the money stayed within the black community. Pennies, nickels, dime, whatever, you know. Also, during that time, like a lot of guys, you know, out here maybe selling drugs today, they were selling Afro. So if they go sell Afro, they was also the number guy. So all the money stayed in the community. I don't care who you was, any barber shop, any beauty salon, any grocery store, whatever business, you will find an afro. You know, it was our community newspaper, you know, and it was all connected. Once they legalized the number, you can't find no afro no more. See how we was connected? But anyway, Tom Smith, I would tell you, he was a Democrat. He was a Democrat. Our club had Democrats and Republicans. And they called him, what do they call it, Democrat political kingpin, the boss, the governor, the chief, the banker. He's the first black banker, because we couldn't go to any bank to borrow money. So any church business you want to start, everybody went to him to borrow money. That's who he was, you know? Okay. This dude here, George Bailey, he lived out Westport. He was an entrepreneur, businessman. He was president of the club about 3 or 4 times. But he was president of the club during the time of Prohibition. He lived out, you know, Westport at Cherry Hill. Yeah. Now he was a Republican. Okay. Now, he was an entrepreneur, and he had a side hustle job, distribution of soft drinks. You know what soft drinks was in the early 1900s?
What?
Bootleg liquor.
Oh, that's what soft drinks were?
Yeah, they called it was a code name. The code name was bootleg liquor. So he was in the Republican Party and a bootlegger. And after Prohibition, we were the first African-American club, saloon, bar, whatever. Within 10 months, we had a liquor license because of his connection to the bootleggers in the Republican Party.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, this was the first black city councilman. They don't even teach this stuff in school. Harry Coleman. This is him right here, Cummings. That's him right here. That's him. This is William McCall. He's right there. They came to this particular day. These lawyers came to Harvey Johnson. He was the preacher at the Union Baptist Church. They came to present on Drew Avenue. They came to present him a black umbrella because all the work he did fighting for these lawyers, you know. And it's a whole history. Once the book come out, you'll read the history.
Breakthrough message. Life ain't guaranteed, so I wanted to actually leave them something. That genuine heart. Which one of these cameras is mine? Google King Fyz Perspective, book, ebook, and audiobook available now.
These are some smart guys, you know, and they were fighting for our freedom, you know, trying to get us more rights and this, and to get the buses put in the black community, get the school name changed to black school names instead of these 101 and 102 and stuff like that, you know. And then you mentioned, not to cut you off, but you had mentioned the book. When do you think the book will be complete? Yeah, are you still working on it? Yeah, I gotta talk to him and see what's going on. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Now, you heard of Robert Coleman? Mm-hmm. Okay, Robert Coleman wrote a directory from 1913 to 1946 of all the black business, you know, all the black businesses and professionals in Baltimore City, based on doing a research. Now, he also, he put all our social members' names between 1920 and 1922. He put all men of our social club, their name and their address in that book. Based on taking the name, their address, and researching them, you come out and you find out that these were all the businessmen between the year 1920 and 1922. And in the book, you'll see all these names. These were all businessmen. Shoe shine, they call them black boot blackers. Pool room, you know. These were the doctors. These were the dentists. They was also members of these clubs. So we always network a lot of clubs, men clubs. Like music came from the church guys, because the church guys could play musical instruments and they could sing. That's how music entered the club. The club was created for one thing, then help the black community only. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it was created to help black community. So it doesn't matter if you was a Democrat, a Republican, a Muslim, a Baptist, no matter what religion, whatever it was, as long as you about uplifting our community, so we can put all the other stuff in back of us, because that's what united us, you know, and we worked together. So the church guys, that's had music in the club, but while they was in the club, they, you know, and music, that's had in the club. Music also entered the club because the guy was in the military. They was in the military band. This guy named John Keel here. This is him, a picture of him right here, John Keel. He was in the military. Yeah. And this is that's him right here. If you see how he had his head cocked. cop. See that head cop?
Uh-huh.
He was 29 years old then. And you see him, he right in here. That's him right there. Yeah. That's John Kill. But anyway, he formed a band. He formed a band called Melody Boys Orchestra. He formed them, and they played the 35th anniversary. They were down at the Elks Home on Madison Avenue, and that's a picture of of the event they had down there. And like I told you, half the members always were vets. They were the early activists. They come out and serve. They immediately get involved with the community trying to help out. Half the members always were vets. These were the schools they went to. A lot of them were part of the union. I was telling you, A. Philip Randolph, Stephen Carr, These were the lawyers in the club. These were the politicians. Now, like he was a Republican. He was a Democrat. They worked together for the black vote. They didn't work against each other. They work together to see how they can, work the black vote to get what we can get. I look at black people. I know some black people in the Democratic Party, some in the Republican Party, but I think black people are more independent thinkers. We go to where we think we can get the most out. We're independent thinkers, but we vote independent.
Exactly.
So some people say, y'all Democrats. No, we ain't locked in like that. We just locked into what we're going to get the most out of.
Exactly.
Okay, we moved up here.
Next week on the Arch Social Club documentary.
See the mayor, pews. Now this is the Billie Holiday room.
Life ain't guaranteed, so I wanted to actually leave them something. That genuine heart. Which one of these cameras is mine? Google King Fyz Perspective, book, ebook, and audiobook available now.